Imagine building a frontier settlement in the freezing wilderness, only to have a massive imperial army march in and burn it completely to the ground. You are forced to retreat, but instead of giving up, you decide to come right back. And this time you do not just build another wooden wall, you construct an ultra-modern, European-style defensive marvel. It was made of tightly packed earth and interwoven tree roots, mathematically designed to laugh in the face of heavy cannon fire. That is exactly what a tiny group of Russian defenders did, setting the stage for a legendary showdown against the mighty Qing Dynasty. This wasn't just a simple border dispute, it was a pure collision of two completely different worlds of warfare and survival. Today, we are diving deep into Eastern versus Western Siege, when the Chinese besieged a Russian star fortress in 1686. To understand how we got here, we have to travel back to the late 17th century. The Tsardom of Russia was expanding rapidly. Picture explorers and adventurers, pushing across the vast, frozen expanse of Siberia, chasing white gold, valuable furs. Eventually, they reached the Amur River Valley, a fertile land with abundant resources, perfect for a stronghold. But there was one massive problem. The valley was dangerously close to the heartland of the Qing Dynasty. The local indigenous people were being taxed by both sides, and border tensions were quickly reaching a boiling point. The Russians built a wooden settlement called Albazin. The Qing Emperor decided that this fort had to be wiped off the map. In the summer of 1685, the Emperor sent General Langton with 3,000 soldiers and a massive train of heavy artillery. Albazin's wooden walls didn't stand a chance against imperial Chinese cannons. They were devastated in a matter of hours. The Russians surrendered to save their men. General Langton allowed them to leave peacefully, following the Emperor's orders for mercy. The Chinese burned the fort to ashes and left, but they underestimated the stubbornness of these frontier settlers. As soon as the army was gone, the Russians returned. They knew a simple wooden fort would be useless this time. Luckily, they had Afanasy Baitan, a Prussian expert who knew about the Trace Italienne, or the Star Fortress. In medieval times, tall stone walls were great, but heavy cannons made them giant, easy targets that shattered into pieces. European engineers invented the Star Fortress with sharp, protruding bastions. Every wall was covered by overlapping lines of fire. Baitan used an earthen core reinforced with clay and tree roots. This made the walls incredibly tough and spongy. By July 1686, General Langton returned. He found an entirely new, strange-looking mud and root fortress in place of the one he'd burned. This is where traditional Eastern siege methods clashed head-on with Western fortress design. When the heavy iron balls smashed into the Russian walls, they did not shatter. The earth simply absorbed the impact. The Qing forces launched an all-out infantry assault, but they found themselves caught in a brutal crossfire from the protruding bastions. The assault was a disaster. The defenders even launched surprise counterattacks, capturing equipment and soldiers before retreating back inside. General Langton realized traditional tactics were suicidal. He shifted strategy and began a grueling blockade to squeeze the life out of the fort. They cut off access to the river, their only source of fresh water. Bilate Auguste Fortress was completely sealed off. As temperatures plummeted, the real enemy was no longer muskets, but starvation and disease. Inside, scurvy and typhus swept through the garrison. Out of 800 defenders, men were dying by the dozen every week. It was not easy for the attackers either. Over 1,500 Qing soldiers died from the cold and disease in the frozen open. By early winter, only 24 Russian defenders were left alive. Yet, the Star Fortress itself remained undefeated. The conflict ended through diplomacy. Russia sued for peace, and Emperor Kangxi ordered his generals to stand down. Once the fighting stopped, Chinese soldiers actually provided food and medicine to the few surviving Russian enemies. The Treaty of Nerchinsk in 1689 saw Russia abandon Albazin in exchange for valuable trade rights inside Beijing. This standoff proved that engineering could stop an army, but no fortress can defeat the relentless forces of nature. If you enjoyed this journey, please like and subscribe to help us bring history back to life. Thank you for watching HistoryHearth.